I am Holly of Hobbies of Holly. Welcome to my very first Flosstube. I've thought about a Flosstube for quite a while, ruled out, never mind, don't want to do it, and then, oh, maybe do I want to do it? And my friend Teresa, the garden goose, says I should, so here I am. I have been cross-stitching, I think since I was 16, and I'm old now, so a long time. My youth pastor's wife taught me to cross stitch, and I actually have a gift that she made me. I think this was either for my 16th birthday or as a graduation gift. And nice Precious Moments pillow she made for me. Isn't that fun? And I cross stitched when we got married. We've been married 41 years. Husband and I just celebrated our anniversary. Then we had 4 darling little girls, and I got busy with them. But when I was pregnant with my last child, who is now 30, I had started an Ann cloth Afghan with a Leisure Arts magazine. And we've moved that with us many times. And during the height of the pandemic, I ran across it in our storage room and thought, I should finish this because she was expecting her first baby. And so I did. I'll show you. So on the Ann cloth, I had probably half of these finished, and I finished the rest of them. Well, I'll not bore you with all of them. Oh, here are a couple more on the back. Very 80s, 90s, but I really enjoyed it. And so from there, I just kept going. And a lot of the quilters that I was following were also cross-stitching. I'm also a quilter. I love quilting. And so I just kept going with it from there. And then I became obsessed. Did that happen to you all? Obsessed. I now cross-stitch every day. If I don't cross-stitch a day, it is very rare, but I just love it. And it probably really came along even further for me when my one of my grandchildren was born, and he had to spend his first 4 months in the hospital. And so what better thing could I do to fill my time in the cafeteria? Again, pandemic, so we weren't even allowed to go see him. So we went every day, and I would just cross stitch. And it just helped. I say busy hands calm a worried mind. And so my hands have been busy ever since. So would you like to see a few of the things that I've stitched? In my recently finished box, I have Upside Down, This Merry Christmas by Abby Rose Designs. I think it's out of print, hard to get, but my dear friends, the Floss Boss and Cousins, let me have theirs. And I love it. Of course, my name is Holly, so I love anything with Holly on it. But this was a quick finish, and I absolutely loved it. I haven't fully finished it yet because I haven't decided what I want to do with it. One other piece that I was stitching around Christmas time was from the Evertote and Modern Folk Embroidery collaboration. And this was their holiday countdown box for 2023. I loved it. We opened a piece of the chart every day with the floss that went with that piece of the chart. It was so fun to complete a color every day and then move on to the next. So that's another recent finish that I also haven't decided how I'm going to finish it yet. Let's see if I can find one more in my box. Nah, I don't. So those are some of my recent finishes. Things that I'm currently stitching on, I thought I would show you those. One of my favorites, I started with my friend Kia, and that is the Kathy Barrick AHTEE Quaker Sampler. We started this when we went to Craft Gallery last summer and found just the most magnificent fabric. And she talked me into trying this. Here, this is what I'm stitching. This is on, I have to look and see because I always forget, 5260 Lakeside Cedar River. I don't know that you can see it. It's just a lovely green. I think my light isn't great, but I've been working on this very slowly because my eyes have to adjust to work on this. So I have to have some daylight and work on it a little bit at a time. But I'm using 103 silk And I would have to tell you the color. Number 576. I wrote it down. But I love this, and I want to keep working on it. Another whip in my pile is this Blackbird chart, Strawberry Fields Forever. I love Blackbird. I have accumulated so many Blackbird charts. It's kind of an obsession. And I started stitching this because my cousin Christy told me I should, so I did. So I'm in a group with her, and it's a Zoom group. I'm sorry, I can't think of who runs it, but I will. It'll come to me. And so I'm working on this, and this is what mine is currently looking like. It's hard to put down, but so I stitch a while and then I put it down to work on some other things, but I really love it. I am using I think it's a Legacy. Hold on, I'll tell you. I think it's a Legacy linen, which I love. I love Legacy linens. Where is it? I don't know. I'll find it. Honey. I think it's called Honey. And I'm using pretty much the called for colors on it. And again, I probably just need to finish it, don't I? Because it's so pretty. My next whip is called In His Image, and it is an exclusive with Craft Gallery by Teresa Kogan. So what I am doing is I'm just going to stitch this wreath of flowers that says made in the image of God. And then I'm going to stitch the children. I'm going to center them underneath it. And sweet Teresa Kogan made a child in a wheelchair. And so I am going to replace this little guy with that child because my grandson has disabilities. And I've stitched it up on a little piece. I don't have it with me right now, but you can check my Instagram for that. But this is how far I am on this. The border was really fun to stitch, and I will confess I dread borders, but this one I enjoyed. Now there was a lot of starting and stopping with colors, but I'm excited that it's complete, and now I'm going to move on to figuring out how to center this under that border. But I love it. Oh, here's one more. This one might be way up there as my favorite. I am a fan of Nicola, Hands Across the Sea, and so I had to have the Martha Walmsley chart when it came out. This was, I think it still is an exclusive with Hobby House. There's something about that reminds me of my great-grandmother's house. I feel like she had maybe a button tin or something that had these colors on it. I love it. It's intense stitching for me, but here's what I've accomplished so far. The colors make me so happy. This is with the called for 103, and I think this is a Tabby Cat Lollybrock that was in the kit. So I would like to keep making progress on that. You'll also note that I frequently have needles in my projects. I'm trying to do better at that. I'm keeping them in a little metal box with a lid that slides with a magnet in them so that I don't lose needles. But another thing while I'm on it about needles, I love Pat Carson needles like everyone else, but my stash is running low. And my best friend Tam, Tam Stitches, best friend forever. I should have started with that. Everyone knows Tam. Everyone loves Tam. She's the very best. I don't know where I'd be in this life without Tam. She loves pony needles, and she would, tell us we need a pony needle. She gifted us some, and I was like, okay, they're okay. For me, the finish wears off, and then they don't slide as easily. However, I have found that with 103s, I really like them. With the 103 silks, they're so thin that they come out of the eye of the needle, but with the pony needles, they don't. So the 28 count pony needles is what I'm liking for this. Now, on to something I would like to start. I enjoy smalls. I do a little bit of seasonal stitching, but not a lot. I don't find I'm not a seasonal decorator. I tend to like big projects. Finishing big projects is another matter, but this is a modern folk embroidery chart that I bought from Evertote. I bought it as a kit. I believe this was from his retreat that they had in Canada this past fall. And I cannot even pronounce the girls' names, but it's a Frisian mother-daughter sampler. It's gonna take me my lifetime, but look how pretty. I love it. So I have everything ready to go for that in my Tiger Lily project bag, my project keeper. So I hope to start that soon. Another start I hope to get to soon is another exclusive. This one is, oh, I'm sorry, it's from Traditional Stitches in Canada, and it's the Ann Johnson sampler by Hands Across the Sea. Again, with the big one, but is that not fantastic? Because I think it is. So this came kitted. I bought the DMCs. I decided not to be bougie and just get the DMCs and the linen. Oh, and because I ordered early enough, I got this thread bed. Isn't that pretty? So those are two big ones I hope to start soon. About whips. It stresses me to have a lot of whips. Yet I have a lot of whips. I had made the goal to not do new starts this year. I'm just gonna finish up things I'm working on. And this is why I don't set goals, because I don't like to be bossed around, even by myself. So what did I do? January, I started, well, I can tell you because here's my book. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 starts in January. February has 2 starts. So there goes my plan. But life is short. Start the things. So that's what I decided to do. But I do have to get some things done. I do keep a book, and I call it my book of days, but this is actually from Crazy Lady Stitches. Is that what she's called? I always have to look at the cover. And it's called the Cross Stitcher's Planner 2024. It is not available anymore. I think she did a run in the fall, and I've talked to her and she is going to do more. I love this thing, mostly because I'm a paper and pen girl, and the paper quality is so nice. Can you see how white it is? I'm a fan. I really like it. So I try to keep up. That was January. And here's what February is looking like. We are going to see the mouse in a couple of weeks, so he made it in there too. Okay, would you like to see my haul? I had a great mail day. I love mail. Tam and I have loved mail since we've known each other. We get so excited for the mail every day. So here is what came today. I saw a post while I was Zooming with Stitchy Friends that the Calculated Stitcher was listing a D-stash on Etsy. Distractedly Zooming, I hurried over to Etsy and shopped while we Zoomed and bought a bunch of stuff. I love stash. I love linen. I love charts. I love floss. I love notions. I especially love scissors. So I bought. Okay, here's what I bought. This is an R&R Nantucket Brew 40 count linen. Can you ever have enough R&R? I think not. This is a Fiber on a Whim, Old Gold, 40 count. This is a Lakeside Bisque, also 40 count. And she had a fat half of Mudslide from Fox and Rabbit. So I bought that. I really need to stitch faster, don't you think? Because I have so many pretty things. And then I bought quite a few charts. I bought the Teresa Kogut Faith, Hope, Peace, and Love. I thought that was really pretty. Might look pretty on the Mudslide. I don't know. Matilda Clark. I really like those colors. This is by Shakespeare's Peddlers. I really enjoy a Bristol sampler, and I have only partially stitched one, yet I keep buying all the charts. But this is a Bristol sampler, M.H. Smith 1890 by Dutch Treat Designs. I had the privilege of meeting Claudia and Nicola Parkman at a hobby house retreat in November, and she was delightful. Nicola is also so delightful. I bought this J.M. Gardner. I believe this is a Brenda Gervais. I liked it, but I also have a daughter whose name is J and Gardner, so I thought I should stitch this for her. I don't know if you can see behind me, but that is one of Modern Folk Embroidery's mystery yearly stitches. I think it's from 2022. I absolutely loved it, and I loved black sampler stitching. And so I saw this and had to have it. And this is M. Satterwhite, a Quaker sampler. And this is also by Shakespeare's Peddler. Now this does have a little bit of something that's not black in there, a little cream, but I may do that, or I may stitch it all in black. And then I love Blackbird, as I said, and so I bought these Blackbird designs. This, and this. And those are Abecedarian Series 4 in Loose Feathers, Beautiful Harvest, Abecedarian 7, The Country Life, My Friend's House, and My Heart's Design. As I mentioned, I love notions. These are beading needles, but I've heard from Nicola's Flosstube that this helps on using 103 silk because the eye is smaller. So I thought I would give those a try. Oh, and I told Tam I would open these, and I have not yet. But I keep seeing these Golden Forge scissors, and again, I love scissors. So I got this from Hoop and Frame. As soon as I saw they were in stock, I hurried and placed my order because they ran out once. They also come in red. I think they're beautiful. I bought 2 Hardwick Manor hoops. I purchased one at Stitch Away when I was with Kia B, and absolutely love it. It's an oval, a little bit bigger than this, and I have small hands. I'm a short person, and so I wanted to try this size to see how it fit my hand. And I also bought it in a 5-inch round hoop. Their hoops are so nice. I've stitched in hand for the past 4 years that I've been back to stitching, and I never plan to do anything other than stitch in hand. I use the sewing method. It's fast for me. I stitch in hand. However, I've been having hand and wrist pain, and so I wanted to try using a hoop. It is a game changer for hand and wrist pain. So I use a hoop, and I keep my fabric a little bit loose so I can still use the sewing method, and it works great. Then I also had an Instagram purchase from Debbie Stitching. Debbie Stitches, I think is what it is. I love this folder. Isn't it pretty? And her set also included this scissor case and a little freebie of wax for your thread, this notion pouch, and this thread bed that is zippered on both sides. So there's a pouch on both sides. So that's what I've been stitching. That's what I plan to stitch. And that is my haul. My plans coming up. I'm very excited that I'm going to a beach retreat in Florida this month. And some of my stitchy besties will be there. So I'm excited to sit with them or near them. And then I'm going to the Library Stitchers Retreat in Maine in April. And again, with my stitchy besties, and I'm excited to see them. So, thank you for joining me today. I hope to be back, and I hope that you'll join me, and I can't wait to hear from you about what you're stitching. Bye.